I want to start with Sanjay because I know he has to scamper off very quickly. Sanjay, the numbers are here. Bhupinder Hooda has finally conceded defeat, but Jairam Ramesh has held a press conference saying the Congress does not accept this result. All very confusing, the sounds coming from the party support. You have called it an own goal. What went wrong for the Congress?
Barkha, in short, I think the Congress has been setting the narrative and probably getting carried away by the conversation around the elections. And tragically, it happened in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh not so long ago. And in fact, even in Punjab, where they basically made a disaster of what should have been a certain victory. I think not learning from your mistakes is going to be a warning for the Congress party here. I have been with the Congress for a long time, and I have always felt that we were never good at the last mile, the finish, the last mile, getting the voter out, the management of the booth, making sure that people who support you are actually at the EVM buttons. And I think that is one problem that the Congress will have to solve, because here was an election where there were issues. And the fact that even the BJP recognized it was pretty obvious when they removed the chief minister after 9.5 years. So clearly the writing was on the wall for the BJP. I think the Congress has not converted that advantage. And one of them is also the fact that a couple of weeks ago, even before the voting had happened and the campaign was picking up speed, once again, it became a very complacent conversation about who is going to be the chief minister. Mr. Huda, Kumari Selja, you had talk about Randeep Singh Surjewala. I think, the electorate today is a lot more smarter and sophisticated than we give them credit for. And while I'm a critic of the BJP, and I will constantly oppose their ideology, I have always maintained it, I've said it on your program, the BJP's hunger to win, the BJP's ability to work the engines, work the machines till the last minute, but that's what elections are all about. And I feel the Congress has really blown away an opportunity, and I'm worried because there will be a repercussion of this for the morale and the confidence of the alliance in Maharashtra, especially the Congress, which did well in the Lok Sabha, and I hope they temper down their ego and begin to work together with Uddhav and with Sharad Pawar's NCP, and even for Jharkhand. So I think there will be repercussions, and I think the BJP has every reason to feel very emboldened. So I go back to the drawing board and tell you, Barkha, in short, I've written that in my article today, that the Congress needs to learn its lessons quickly. Having said that, let's not forget that even in Jammu and Kashmir, the BJP equally has been chastised. After all the hype and hoopla over Article 370, the BJP hasn't really been very good even in Jammu, forget Kashmir. So I think there are lessons for both the national parties. But as far as the Congress is concerned, I think it has definitely gone on a kamikaze mission.
A kamikaze mission is a strong phrase to use, and I'll get reactions starting with Dr. Tayal. But Sanjay, because I know we have you only for a few more minutes, just one or two more questions. Yogendra Yadav, who was linking a possible defeat for the Congress, I beg your pardon, for the BJP in Haryana to a diminishing brand Modi, came on our show today and he said, I was wrong, I got it wrong, I failed to read the undercurrent, and the voter perhaps of Haryana was worried about the domination of one family, one caste. He was obviously referring to the Hoodas. Kumari Selja has expressed her disquiet in public. She declared herself to be a contender for chief minister. Today, she has said those responsible for this must take accountability. My question is, was that the self-goal, over-depending on Hoodas? What was it? You haven't defined the self-goal.
Well, I think there is no denying that the Congress party felt that even in the last assembly election, had the Hoodas had more time, they would have possibly upset the apple cart, because don't forget, surprisingly, the Congress got 31 seats in the last assembly election. So this time, the Hoodas had a very strong message for the Congress leadership. You goofed up last time. Now give it to us and we will take you past the finish line. And therefore, the leadership was completely dependent on the Hoodas. That's absolutely right. But I also want to make a point here that too much is being made of this Jat issue, because the Jats have always been a significant factor in Haryana elections. And yet you have had Jat, chief ministers. You have yet had Congress in government. So the question of this whole non-Jat consolidation being done by the BJP is not a unique experiment. I mean, any political party has to manage these contradictions and competitive nature of the caste politics in Haryana. I believe the
Mhm.
Congress had the issues, whether it was, what they called as the Jawan, Kisan, Pehelwan, and Samvidhan, etc. That's all fine. I just believe the issues were not the problem. The problem was that the Congress had to recognize that you were up against a formidable foe that was working quietly, is not going to walk away from a contest. And secondly, the Congress never gets its act together in terms of delivery at the last line. And I think that arrogance, that overconfidence, "Kaun banega Mukhyamantri," it diverts attention of everybody from the campaign. And I think the Congress has paid a price for that.
And the kamikaze mission that you say, that's like a death wish. What was the death wish specifically in Haryana?
I feel in both Haryana as well as, I would say Jammu in particular. I think the Congress leadership, and I would mention both Priyanka and Rahul here, they're now seasoned, they've done well. It's not that, they have gone through, they've had successes. That you got to realize that post the Lok Sabha, the Congress winning both these states was critical because you got Haryana, you got Maharashtra, very, very important coming up next month.
Hmm.
You got Jharkhand, you got Delhi. And this could completely change the game if the opposition had won all. And I would have been more aggressive in Jammu. I was surprised that the Gandhis were spending not enough time in Jammu, or just kind of investing significant resources in terms of presence and campaigning, because what else are you supposed to do anyways? And not just the Gandhis, you should have put the whole team out there. I really feel that that appetite or the belief that we need to work very hard to get it is still missing somewhere, because you're not dealing with an ordinary rival in the BJP. And I think maybe there is still is a learning. If the Congress learns quickly, I think Maharashtra is up for grabs. But I have written in my article, if the Congress doesn't at the moment quickly coalesce around Uddhav Thackeray as the chief minister candidate, I can tell you Maharashtra will again be problematic. And the BJP, I can tell you even today, is working very hard despite all the negativism you are hearing about Ajit Pawar, etc.
Okay, before we let you go, Sandeep Ghosh, on a light-hearted note, texted me to say you should call Sanjay, that is you, suspended but animated Congress supporter. So suspended animation acquires a whole different meaning with you. So that's a good one. I couldn't resist quoting that. But on the note of Priyanka and Rahul not campaigning in Jammu, Omar Abdullah said it on record. He said it to me. He said it to the cameras. He said the Congress hasn't pulled its weight in Jammu and Kashmir. And if you look at the breakup in J&K, the Congress has picked up 6 seats, right? So this is essentially a national conference victory for the large part in Jammu
Yeah.
and Kashmir. Sanjay Jha, would you concede that?
Absolutely, which is disaster, because even in the last election, if I'm getting the numbers right, the Congress was either 12 or 13, and that was in 2014. There is no excuse for this at all. I think the Congress's inability to kind of recognize or be cognizant of the opportunities. An election is an opportunity. It's a referendum for a political party to make a statement. And the absence of understanding the importance of the election is so elementary, still beats me, Belka.